time for everybody. That's what they tell me, that's what they say. I didn't hear them say a word of when that time will be. I only know that what they say has not come true for me. You just keep waiting and love will come your way. That's what they tell me, that's what they say. There comes a time for everybody when true love will come your way. There comes a time for everybody. That's what they tell me, that's what they say. I didn't hear them say a word of when that time will be. I only know that what they say has not come true for me. You just keep waiting and love will come your way. That's what they tell me, that's what they say. That's what they tell me, that's what they say. Well, they say what you don't know. Oh, that you. And I believe that it's so. So don't tell me that you found someone new to go to life with you. Because I love you, my darling, my dearest, I love you. You're the one I want nearest me, I love you. And I hope that you love me too. I'd rather die thinking you love me than to go on goodbye without you and you with someone new to go through life with you. Well, because I love you, my darling, my dearest, I love you, you're the one I want nearest me, I love you, and I hope that you love me too. Rather die thinking you love me and to go on through life without you and you with someone new to go through life with you. The sun is out, the sky is blue. There's not a cloud to spoil the view, but it's raining. is clear today. He doesn't know you've gone away, and it's raining, raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery, what's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show, but soon these tears are bound to flow, 'cause it's raining, raining in my heart. But it's raining, raining in my heart. And it's raining, raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery, what's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show, but soon these tears are bound to flow, 'cause it's raining, raining in my heart, raining in my heart, raining in my heart. Heartbeat, why do you miss when my baby kisses me? Heartbeat, why does a love kiss stay in my memory? Fiddly pat, I know that new love thrills me. I know that true love will be. Heartbeat, why do you miss when my baby kisses me? Heartbeat, why do you skip when my baby's lips meet mine? Heartbeat, why do you flip, then give me a skip beat sign? Fiddly pat and sing to me love stories, and bring to me love's glory. Heartbeat, why do you miss when my baby kisses me? Strange things take place in my moon dreams as the lonely and loveless hours go by. Your face takes its place in every moonbeam. Moon dreams bring thoughts gentle as a sigh. Moon dreams may be fascination. Love can be our destination. You and I can share this dream. Wishing for you in my moon dreams. As the lonely and loveless hours go by, we'll do until you can share all my dreams. Moon dreams, moon dreams, moon dreams brought by moonbeams in the sky. Strings will sing like a string of twine if you take your time. Take your time and take mine too. I have time to spend. Take your time, go with me through times till all time's end. Take your time, I can't wait for all the love I know will be mine if you take your time. Take your time and take mine too. I have time to spend. Take your time, go with me through times till all time's end. Take your time, I can't wait for all the love I know will be mine if you take your time. Take your time. To my heart, please don't ever, ever say we'll part. You scold and you were so bold. Yes, Hey, hey, look at me and tell me what's gonna happen to you when you've broken too many people's hearts and can't find anyone new. Say, look at me and tell me about that twinkle in your eye. Is the twinkle in your eye meant for me or meant for some other guy? Look at me from now on, know the love we share. Look at me from now on, letting me know you care. Hey, hey, look at me and tell me what's gonna happen to you when you've spoken sweet words of love to me and I want to marry you. Look at me from now on, know the love we share. Look at me from now on, letting me know you care. Hey, 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 look at me and tell me what's gonna happen to you when you've spoken sweet words of love to me and I want to marry you. You're the one that's causing my blues. You're the one I don't want to lose. You're the one that I'd always choose. You're the one that's meant for me. You're the one that I'm thinking of. You're the one that I'll always love. You're the one sent from heaven above. You're the one that's meant for me. Sometimes you make me feel so bad, you make me cry deep in my heart. I feel like an actor in a play who doesn't fit the part. You're the one, and I want you to know you're the one that thrills me so. You're the one, I can't let you go. You're the one that's meant for me. Sometimes you make me feel so bad, you make me cry deep in my heart. I feel like an actor in a play who doesn't fit the part. You're the one, and I want you to know you're the one that thrills me so. You're the one, I can't let you go. You're the one that's meant for me. Wishing that I could see you every day. Wishing that I could steal your heart away. Dreaming of the time I can hold you tight. Wishing that the time would come tonight. I've been hoping all along things would turn out right.
Please do sit down. I am the resurrection and the life, says the Lord. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live, and everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Welcome everybody. I'm Mark. I'm the minister of this church, a place where in its buildings Adam spent so much time. Welcome to you, whether you are here in the building or whether you are joining us on the live stream or whether you are watching later on. It's my privilege to be leading this service because we meet in these special moments to give thanks for the life of Adam Dearnley, to commend him to God's loving and faithful care, to support each other, and to pray for those who mourn. In the presence of death, Christ offers us sure ground for hope and confidence because he shared our human life and death, was raised again triumphant, and lives forevermore. In him, people find eternal life. We have 3 hymns this morning. They're on the orders of service, which hopefully you have sight of where you are seated. When we sing the hymns, I invite you to stand if you are able. And our opening hymn is Lord of all hopefulness, Lord of all joy. Please sit down. And let us pray. Loving God, who brought us to birth, enable us to hear your message of death overcome and life renewed, that as we face the mystery of death, we may see the light of eternity. Through Christ, our risen Saviour. Amen. Part of the opportunity of this service is to bring to God our thanks for Adam and for his life. I never really got to know him, but you did. And today you've come with all your knowledge of him and all your memories. And it is in sharing these that we can celebrate Adam's life. So Richard is going to come now and share some of his thoughts and memories. Thank you, Richard.
Can you all hear me? That's good. We've got family listening in Scotland today, so I need to speak clearly. And friends in Canada. First of all, obviously, I would give anything not to be here, stood in front of you like this today. I would give absolutely anything for this not to be Adam's funeral service. But it is, and nothing can change that. Before I go any further, I want to say a big thank you on behalf of myself, Tricia, and Jack, to every single one of you. I'm not going to name any names, but I really do mean every single one of you for being here today, whether you knew Adam or not. If you've just come to support myself, Tricia, or Jack, we do really, really appreciate it. So thank you. Right, we'll start at February the 7th. Monday, February the 7th was just a normal day. Adam went to work as normal, but he didn't come home. Just before 6:30, our lives changed forever. We got the worst possible news. But it could have been even worse. Adam wasn't involved in a road traffic accident. He wasn't alone. He wasn't caught up in a fire, an incident, an explosion. He wasn't in a crush at a sports stadium or a concert venue. He was just sat at his desk, at his work, almost at the end of the day. Apparently he'd had a very good day. One moment he was there, a moment later he wasn't. But he was surrounded by people that really cared for him at his place of work, leisure outlet in Attenborough. And I really want to pay special tribute to the management and staff at Adam's work. They looked after him on that terrible day. They did everything possible to try and bring about a different outcome. The police were very quickly on the scene, followed by paramedics. They all did their absolute best for Adam, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. It just wasn't to be. I'd like to move on now and share just a few snippets of information, random memories that have been whirling around in my head for the last few weeks. We'll go back to when he was young. Obviously, I'm sure all of us that have kids have very fond memories of when they were little. The first time we took Adam camping, he was 2 years old. There were 3 of us in a 2-man tent. We only went to Stragglethorpe, just up the road, one night. It all seemed to be going well. We were all enjoying ourselves. I sat down, had a cup of tea. I said to Adam, "Don't touch that burner, it's hot." You know what happened. When he was about 2 or 3, I remember Tricia telling me this. Whether she remembers or not, I don't know. She often used to take Adam into town on the bus. They might be doing shopping, or they might be meeting Adam's grandma, Mama, from Bulwell. And they'd be on the bus going into town. Adam would be looking out the window, standing on the seat, looking at the landmarks, Asda, and as you went a bit further, there's a big traffic island, and there's the remains of the original Trent Bridge in the middle. And he'd be looking out the window, standing up, and he'd go, ooh, little Trent Bridge. And then a few seconds later, big Trent Bridge. And then the bus would be going round the outside of the meadows, and he'd be standing up, looking out the window, over London Road, and he'd go, oh, Notts County ground. Daddy goes there. Yes, and it wasn't long before Adam was going there as well. His first match, he just turned 4. In fact, I remember the day. Trish was in the hospital. She'd just given birth to Jack. And we'd gone in to visit them, because she was staying in for a couple of days. And it got to about getting on for 1 o'clock. I said, well, we'll have to go now. Notts are at home. Well, it was a pre-season friendly, but it was against Arsenal, and we were expecting a big crowd. So I took Adam for his first game. We were walking over Trent Bridge towards the ground, and the traffic was coming over the bridge from town, and Adam was looking to his left at all the traffic coming over the bridge, and I said to Adam, if you look over there, you'll see the forest ground. He said, I know, that's why I'm looking the other way. I knew from that moment onwards he'd be black and white. Other random memories. Again, when he was around about this time, I was driving along the road, I think from Trent Bridge. Don't know where we were going or where we'd been. And there was just myself and Adam in the car. And he said to me, why don't we get another car? I said, well, we don't need another car. Well, he says, it would be very useful for Mummy, especially now we have Jack. I don't know if somebody put him up to that, but it didn't work. His first away game on the coach. I can't quite remember. I remember how old he was, probably about 6 or 7. We were playing Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, so quite a long trip. We're just going past Nottingham Racecourse at Colwick. A little voice says, oh, we're nearly there yet. I said, not quite, there's a little way to go yet. 3.5 hours of I Spy and Guess Who. And the same again on the way back. And we lost. Yes, Middlesbrough way. Family holidays. Always placed a lot of emphasis on us having as many little holidays and breaks as we could as a family. Over the years, we stayed in many holiday flats, static caravans, campsites. Particularly campsites. We often stayed on campsites, especially in the summer when the weather was a bit better. Well, it was supposed to be a bit better. It wasn't always the case. We'd soon bought a bigger tent, especially once Jack was here. We camped all over the place, all over the country, north, south, east, west. We even camped in Scotland a few times, even overseas. Well, the Isle of Wight. A particular favourite campsite that we returned to year after year was at Robin Hood's Bay. It was also quite eventful on some occasions at Robin Hood's Bay. The wind always used to seem to get up to gale force proportions. The first time we went there with the new tent, we'd been out for a day into Whitby. It had got stronger and stronger, the wind. We got back to the campsite. Our tent was at the bottom of the field. I was thinking, well, it's a good job we weren't at the top, because some of these tents look a bit damaged. As we got further down the field, I thought, where's ours? There was just a pile of nylon canvas on the ground, pots and pans all over the place, clothing in hedges, upturned tables, broken chairs. Obviously, nobody was particularly happy, but about 4 hours later, after Tricia with a needle and thread, myself with duct tape, we managed to get the tent up again. Other campers disappeared home, they'd had enough, but we stuck it out. We were there the rest of the week. And then on another occasion, we had a new tent, brand new tent. First trip away to Robin Hood's Bay, pole snapped. But we still managed to rescue it, we still managed to fix it, and we invented a pole repair kit in case it happened again. But yeah, many happy times camping. Adam particularly loved the camping. He was always happiest on his camp chair. You see him on that picture. That's at a campsite, I think that's in Cornwall. The camping leads into another aspect of Adam's life. The 4th West Bridgeford Scout Group that meets down here. If anything defines Adam, it's probably that. Adam loved it. Not just because I was a Cub Scout leader and he had to come along. He really did love it. I remember he was enrolled as a beaver at the age of 6 by Brenda Taylor, my old Arcala. By the time he was 8, I was enrolling him into the Cubs. And I just remember on one of his, I think it was probably his very first visit to the Cubs. I don't even know if he's had his uniform. I just remember him out the corner of my eye, white T-shirt. All the kids were crouching down. I think they were about to start the game. And he was waiting for his turn. I just caught a look of him, looking so eager, his eyes shining, big grin on his face. He couldn't wait to get started. Yeah, and that was Adam in Cubs. Then he went up to Scouts and all the different adventurous activities he'd engage in, rock climbing, kayaking, all sorts of camps. Again, he loved it. Then he was in Venture Scouts. When he was a bit older, he went on a trip to Kandersteg in Switzerland, trekking over glaciers and meeting scouts from all over Europe. Again, he absolutely loved it. So it was no surprise when Adam decided that he would become a leader, and initially he was helping us out down at the Cubs. Again, he was spot on. It was just his thing, and then he realised that the Scouts were a bit short of leaders, so he joined the Scouts, became a Scout leader. I've got all sorts of things written down, but I don't think I'm going to go through them because Neil, the Scout leader, he's going to be talking about Adam in Scouts, and Fiona from the district will be talking about more activities that Adam got involved with at the district and county level. So I'll leave that to Neil and Fiona, or else you'll have nothing else to say. Right, just put my glasses on, see what's next. Yes. A few notes on Adam's character. Some of these I'm sure you'll recognise. Adam was quiet. There's no doubt in that. He was shy. But that didn't mean he didn't join in. I'm told with various things he was always reliable. Not always so reliable at home, but apparently at his work and in scouting, he was always reliable. He was honest. He was as honest as the day was long. He would never do anything that he didn't think was the right thing to do. I remember once on holiday, we were in Germany, in Cologne, and we picked up a little felt badge of the place. And off we went down the street. And then he took it out of his pocket to have a look at it. He realised he'd picked up 2. One had attached itself to the back. And of course, we couldn't speak German, we couldn't remember where the shop was, we couldn't really go back and take it back, but that sort of played on his mind because he didn't think it was right, even though it was just one of those things. But Adam could always be trusted. He always had a positive attitude. Adam also liked to party. Somebody so quiet, he was quite at home in a party atmosphere. I remember we used to go to a festival at Twinwood, and they would have a sort of Cockney knees up, sing along. Everybody's singing away, swinging and everything, and he loved it, absolutely loved it. Memories at football matches, when sometimes we had something to celebrate, not often, but I remember at Sunderland away, and we did win that actually, and it was half-time, and we were in the T-bar under the stand, and it was absolutely heaving. People were chanting and shouting, and I just said, "All right, Adam," and I just saw him there. He wasn't chanting or shouting, or he just stood there with a big smile on his face, just happy to be in that lovely jovial sort of atmosphere. Sense of history. Adam really had a sense of history, a sense of time and place. From being sort of about 3 years old, he was mad on Robin Hood. Everything had to be Robin Hood this, Robin Hood that. We had to visit Sherwood Forest and all those things. I remember on one occasion we went to Sherwood Forest, and he had all his kit on and his bow and arrow and his little hat, and he was running along, and there was a family coming towards us, and the little boy says to his mum, "Oh, look at him." And his dad said, "Well, you've got a green T-shirt." Cheapskate. Yeah, sense of history. He used to have a big wall chart in his bedroom at that time, and it's split into little squares, all sorts of different times throughout history, going right back to the ancient Britons and the Romans. And, you know, I'd switch his light off at night and he'd say, "Tell me about those times. Tell me about the times of the Romans. Tell me about the Great Fire of London." And this went on for a while. You know, he really had a sense of history. Adam was also proud. He was proud, I believe, of his family. He was certainly proud of the Scouts. He was proud of his country and people that had served the country in conflict in the past. He was proud of his grandpa, who served in the war. And he was particularly proud of Jack, his brother. Jack's a student of comedy, and obviously it's very difficult at the moment with the circumstances that we find ourselves in. But we all need laughter. We all need cheering up, even in the darkest of times. So I hope you carry on with that. And I have to say at this point, Jack's got through to a national semi-final, comedy semi-final. Can we give him a round of applause? That's embarrassed him. Sorry, Jack. But yeah, even when Adam was having a rough time, and he did at times, jobs didn't work out for one thing and another, but he was always pleased that Jack was doing well. He was always talking about Jack. "Oh, well, Jack will be doing this, Jack will be doing that. I wonder if he'll do this, and wonder what he'll do in the future." Yeah, he was very proud. And, of course, Adam should have been proud of himself, because he had much to be proud of. He was also, for his age, one of the most respectful kids you could ever wish to meet. Always the first to buy a poppy, way before the rest of us. And it was just something that struck a chord with Adam, to do with his sense of history, his appreciation for what had gone on before, and he had a real interest in all things from the 40s and World War memorials and Battle of Britain exhibitions, and all the various planes involved. Musically, me and him were very similar. Both like lots of music from the 40s and 50s. Adam could play the guitar. I can't play anything. But Adam could. And he'd often just be strumming away on his guitar, often to some Buddy Holly tracks or Johnny Cash. We heard some Buddy Holly earlier, I believe. And the last thing that I remember him strumming away on his guitar to and singing was the Sunday afternoon before he passed away. And he was just strumming and singing Bring Me Sunshine. And Adam did bring us sunshine. And we're going to play that out at the end of the service. Myself and Adam, we shared a lot of tastes, musically, same football club. If I wanted to visit somewhere, an interesting pub or something like that, I could guarantee it would be Adam's cup of tea as well. Whereas with Jack, he wouldn't want to be seen dead in anywhere like that with me. But me and Adam were just different. We go on bike rides together and occasional weekends camping. Every year we went to the Twinwood Vintage Music Festival. Every year since he was about 14 years old, I think. And he loved it there. It was just the best week. For us too, it was just the best weekend. We looked forward to it from one year to the next. Just so many happy memories. We'll just round up a bit faster now. School, education. Yeah, he went through school all right. Avon Primary, West Bridgeford School. He got 4 A-levels, more than I got, so must have been learning something. Then he went off to university in Lincoln, where he did interactive design. He successfully graduated in that. And he also became involved with the kayaking and canoeing club at Lincoln. And that really developed into a lifelong interest for Adam. He did an instructor's course, and then he did further instructor's courses with the Scouts so that he could then take the kids out onto the water and pass on his love of canoeing and kayaking, and that was something that he really enjoyed. Going on to his work experiences, I have to say Adam had a lot of bad luck since finishing at university. A lot of things just didn't work out for one reason or another that I'm not going to go into. Some of his jobs were part-time. There are a couple that he really did enjoy at Cotswolds Outdoors. He liked it there. And he was a barista serving coffee at Lowe's at number 8, was it? Compton Acres precinct. But these were only part-time jobs. Eventually, he got a job at Leisure Outlet. He was so pleased when he was offered that job. Remember the evening, he was so pleased. We were so pleased for him. And it seemed that finally Adam had found somewhere, full-time, good job, with good people to work with. And that was the case. Adam would have been there, I'm sure, for many years. He really felt part of the team at Leisure Outlet. And for that, we're extremely grateful. Because Adam liked to be part of a bigger family, part of a team. Not just our family, part of the family down at the football, part of the scouting family. And finally, he felt part of a family at work. Right, we're getting towards the end now. I'm sure you're glad to know. To say the best die young. Adam, you were the best. You touched so many lives, so many. That's why there's so many people here today. And if I can quote a line from a favourite film to Adam, you've really had a wonderful life. Too short, much too short, but wonderful. You've been a wonderful son and grandson and brother, cousin, nephew, and friend. We'll miss you so much. We'll miss you forever, but we'll remember you forever and ever. You'll always be with us, always. Always in our hearts, and we'll love you forever. After the service, when some of us go up to Wilford Hill, the chapel up there, the song that I've asked them to play us into is a song called Forever Young. I've written down one of the verses, but I'm not going to read it out now. But the last line of the song just says, "May you stay forever young." Adam, you will always stay forever young. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. And Adam, old friend, thank you.
Thank you, Richard, for sharing all those thoughts and memories for us. Our next song is a campfire song, sung at the end of the day. We'll sing together, Kumbaya. Please do sit down. We're pleased to have so many representatives from Scouting here this morning, and Neil and Fiona are going to come and share some words with us now. Thank you both.
Good morning. I'm Neil Clingan. I'm the Group Scout Leader at the 4th West Bridgeford. Adam and I were Scout Leader colleagues. What I'm going to try and do this morning is give you a view of the scouting journey that Adam went through since he was a 6-year-old boy, and give you a feel for the impact that he made on scouting at the 4th West Bridgeford as a leader. Scouting was in the blood for Adam. He was born into a long line of scouters, starting from his grandfather, who was one of the founding members of our troop. In many ways, Adam was a perfect scout. He joined as a beaver. He progressed through the sections, to cubs, to scouts, to explorer scouts. And for me as a leader, having somebody like Adam move seamlessly into adult leadership was a gift. Never easy getting people to volunteer, but having a new leader with the heritage that Adam had was a real blessing for the troop. Even early on in his time as a leader, Adam would return from university on Friday evenings to help with cubs, which is a real testament to the fun that he must have had with the young people and the leaders. Giving up that socialisation time with your buddies at university is a real, a real sort of sacrifice that Adam made, just so he could be with the troop and be a part of that. Over the years, Adam continued to give more and more to the scouting movement. He stepped up through the ranks, he took more and more formal roles within the group, and it culminated with him achieving the wood badge, this badge I've got around here, these 2 little toggles, to show that he was fully trained. Initially, Adam started, and as Richard said, was a leader in the cub pack at the 4th. After 5 years, we managed to borrow him, persuade him to come and join the Scouts. And Adam came over because we were very short on leaders at the time. But having Adam seamlessly join us to bolster the leadership team was fantastic. I guess I only really started to get to know Adam very well during those 3 years. Adam fitted in really quickly. He worked well in the Scout leadership team that Simon Folds led at the time, and we all gelled very well. We tried to have a really good mix of fun. We developed a real great camaraderie as a leadership team. There was the occasional trip to the pub afterwards where we kind of chatted and let our hair down, which was fantastic. But our key goal really was to put together the best programme we could and to look after the young people and keep them as safe as we could, which we did a fantastic job with. Adam outwardly was a very quiet, thoughtful man. As he got to know the young people in Scouts and as leaders better, we started to see another side to him as he got to know us, which was fantastic. Adam had a brilliant sense of humour and a real determinedness, which we saw in the way that he worked with the young people. One evening we were doing some rope craft, and one of the youngsters was having a bit of a challenge. The knots that we were doing, were non-trivial. Adam picked this up on his radar very, very quickly, and he swapped from overseeing a bunch of kids to really helping this one individual young boy. Adam could see that it wasn't the easiest thing to explain the knots we were doing, but he persevered. He broke it down into simple steps that the youngster could pick up and remember. And by the end of the session, the scout that had been getting frustrated and a little upset had completed the task, and they were super proud of themselves. And that was all down to Adam and the focus that he'd put in to make sure that they were successful. Oh, and by the way, did I mention this was all over Zoom during COVID? So he'd managed to do this by going into a breakout room with another leader, of course, for safeguarding, but we managed to get this youngster through it and get it all done, which was just Adam all over. Adam was as reliable as a Swiss watch. One evening, we picked up a message on our Scout Leaders WhatsApp message group that Adam needed a lift. I was already running a few people over, so I said, no problems, I'll come and grab you and we'll go over. I can't remember whether we were at Hollygate or Stone Pit. It was one of those evenings at one of our favourite venues. But it was no problem to pick Adam up. When I got to Adam's house, he's there, ready to go, bang on time as usual. but he was a little bit pink in the cheeks. So I made a flippant comment, you know, as you do, and it turned out that he'd cycled home double quick that night from Long Eaton because he didn't want to hold us up. At that point, I decided not to whinge about working at home that day. I thought it was a bit trivial. Through COVID, Adam, together with Jordan and Andrew, did a wonderful job of keeping troop nights going. You know, doing it online through Zoom just isn't easy, but Adam, together with the team, just did a truly wonderful job. Adam brought a number of his talents to those online sessions. He was doing online art classes. He even got me to do some art, which is a real challenge. He would spend, you know, time building up amazing quiz shows and slideshows for the session. And he even invented new games that we could do on Zoom just to keep the kids engaged, which is a challenge in itself in 90 minutes, just sat at a PC in the dining rooms. Giving time was natural to Adam. I guess he'd seen his dad Richard do it every week, and no doubt Richard had seen his father Skip Dearnley do the same. As I said earlier, scouting was in the blood for Adam. You see a lot of jokes in Scout Leader forums about it only being a couple of hours a week. I think if there's any teachers out there in the audience, you'll all realise there's almost as much time prepping as there is in the activities themselves. You know, Adam just always did that without, you know, any fuss, and put a huge amount of time into the stuff he was doing. Fiona will chat in a minute about the work that Adam did outside of our troop in scouting. So you'll continue to see a theme of him using his skills to benefit others. And that was just part of life to Adam, and he always did it with a smile. Throughout his scouting journey, Adam went on numerous camps all over the UK. He ventured to Switzerland, as Richard mentioned earlier, with the West Bridgeford ESU, and I understand loved the time he'd spent out there in Switzerland. He was also due to be part of the leadership team for our Nottinghamshire contingent at the European Jamboree in Poland back in 2020, but sadly that was impacted by the pandemic. In preparing for this talk, I had a catch up with Jordan, who was, you know, the same age as Adam and went through Cub Scouts and Explorers at the same time. And Jordan recounted a fantastic story of when he and Adam went on camp to Windermere a good few years back. It's a group tradition that when we do a camp, we generally give the scouts a little bit of free time at some point in the week and a relatively loose leash, and they get to go off and have a bit of independent time at some point in the week. Generally, when we do this, we get hilarious stories in the evening of humongous ice creams, fish and chips, and more sweets than your mum would let you have. But this time, Jordan and Adam, who were both aged 12 at the time, decided to go off and have a far more sophisticated afternoon. Instead of finding sweets and chocolate and fish and chips, Adam dragged Jordan to a very traditional tea room where they savoured loose-leaf tea and Millionaire's shortbread. By the end of the afternoon, Adam was on first-name terms with Auntie Val, the proprietor, and they were told off to go back to Slim, who was the head of the group at that point, and she said, "Go off and tell your skipper how good you've been," which I'm sure they did. I'd always wondered where Adam's love of tea had come from, but it looks like, and from hearing Richard earlier, that was something that he picked up at a very early age from his dad. I spent some time with Richard, Tricia and Chaz a couple of weeks back, and it was really lovely to see some pictures that Andy, Slim Best, had printed for them. They kind of portrayed a young boy growing into a man, having great fun in nature, building a growing love for camping and adventures, such as kayaking, walking, ice climbing, and it was just wonderful to see the journey that he'd been on as a young man and moving into leadership. As we got deeper into the album, the shirt changed colour, and Adam started giving back as a leader. which was absolutely wonderful. With my family, we did something similar. We looked at some old pictures, we looked at some old videos, and the one that really struck a chord with me was an AGM that we'd had up at Stone Pit. Adam was part of a skit with Jordan, with Becky, with his cousins, and they were all in their element. They were having a wonderful time. They were giggling like silly people, which was amazing. And that's how I remember Adam. Big smile, big giggle, and really fantastic. In many ways, Adam's photo album's been cut way too short. It's left a huge hole in the group. But we'll do everything we can to keep going, which I'm sure you'd have wanted us to do. And we'll try and keep making the kind of impression on West Bridgford's young people that the troop made on him. Rest in peace, Adam.
So I'm Fiona Burrows and I'm the District Commissioner for Rushcliffe, and these are some thoughts from myself and other people around the district. Like many people here today, I knew Adam through Scouting, and I was fortunate to do so, working with him on our district team. He'd grown up through the movement with family links from his grandfather, parents and family members, all involved with 4th West Bridgford. Like them, he was devoted to the Scouting movement. Alongside his roles within 4th West Bridgford, Adam was our District Communications Manager for media, and he also joined the District Executive, providing any media support required. Within Nottinghamshire, he was part of the Notts Scouts Adventure team at Hoveringham, and he was selected to attend the 2020 European Jamboree at Gdansk, which Neil's already mentioned was impacted by COVID. Adam was generous with his talents. He was a leader at 4th, sharing his Scouting knowledge with young people and his expertise in all things IT-based through the district team. The last contact I had with him was designing a poster for recruiting Scouts at Cotgrave. This is just one example where Adam raised the profile across our digital landscape. If it was Volunteers Week, Seasonal Wishes, Pride, Founders Day, Patron Saint Days, or even wishing everyone a happy National Rubber Ducky Day, all these were shared on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram thanks to Adam. Many of the photographs from the district were taken by Adam, and he was happy to volunteer to support Scout incident hikes, St George's Day, presentation evenings, cub hikes, camps and many other activities held within the district, always with his trusty camera in his hand so he could record what was happening. Adam was gifted at online design and he created many different artworks for us. Most recently, he designed the oak tree badge for our Major Camping Challenge Award, and he's always produced many different posters for events or recruitment. Adam was a person we could rely on come rain or shine. If he told you he would do something or be somewhere, you knew he would be there. Always present at district events, Adam would work quietly and with great skill to help bring us together and spread the Scouting message. He was fabulous with the young people and engaged with them at their level. He brought out the best in them, and in return, they brought out the best in Adam. He was unfailingly kind. I never heard him say a cross thing or a bad word about anyone, and I hope his actions will have inspired those he led at 4th. When I first met Adam, he was a shy and quiet person. He never wanted to be the centre of attention, but worked really hard in the background, noticing when something needed doing and ensuring that it got done. He had a wonderfully dry sense of humour, and sometimes, when you made an idiotic comment and caught his eye, you could see that he was grinning and no doubt holding back a response. During the last 2 years, it was Adam who set up and ran our online Scouting links for each section in the district. Each week when we were unable to meet, in both lockdowns and when Scouting was red, we had separate sessions posted for beavers, cubs and Scouts. They undertook scavenger hunts, skills challenges, home help badge, book reader, personal challenges, badges at home, and many, many more. Adam was the online magic that allowed us to run virtual district camps. beaver and cub activity days where young people across the district, county and country joined us online at the Olympics, making bug hotels, doing bike maintenance, or even simple pioneering projects. He put together our 2 virtual St George's Day Promise renewals and our virtual Remembrance Sunday event, sourcing videos, stories and photographs, putting them all together for us to celebrate as a district. For all the support he gave to the district over the pandemic, I awarded him the Nottinghamshire Scouts Oaks Award in 2020 on behalf of Rushcliffe District as a small thank you to show how much he was appreciated. More recently, we were also able to nominate Adam to receive his Chief Scouts Commendation for Good Service, which was awarded in August last year. I was happy to do this because I can't think of anyone who embodies good service more than Adam. Over the years, his character and his capabilities grew, and this shone through in all the roles he undertook, from being a leader to his role on the activities team as a kayak instructor, confidently leading groups of young people onto the water around the lake at Hoveringham. He was able to identify with beavers, cubs, scouts or explorers, whether they were the confident individual in the group or someone who wasn't entirely comfortable on water. No one had any doubt that his group would have a fun, safe session and no one would be left behind. I've also been told that they've never seen a kayak instructor who got so wet every session. It was his way of engaging with the group, and he pulled it off magnificently. As part of the Jamboree team, it did not take them long to discover if they said, "Adam, can you just?" It would be done speedily, efficiently, and to a very high standard. Even difficult requests like, "Can you please arrange these 45 names into the shape of an oak tree on the back of the polo shirts?" appeared to cause no problem at all. His IT skills were very welcome indeed, particularly to the technophobes amongst us. He designed the Eurojam polos and hoodie, as well as a stunning contemporary design of Robin Hood's hat for their logo. I believe that the following short extract from the last message written to Scouts by Lord Baden-Powell sums up Adam's attitude and dedication to Scouting perfectly. "I believe that God put us in this jolly world to be happy and enjoy life. Happiness does not come from being rich, nor merely being successful in your career, nor by self-indulgence. Be contented with what you have got and make the best of it. Look on the bright side of things instead of the gloomy one. The real way to get happiness is by giving out happiness to other people. Try and leave this world a little better than you found it, and when your turn comes to die, you can die happy in feeling that at any rate you have not wasted your time, but have done your best. Be prepared in this way to live happy and to die happy. Stick to your Scout promise always, and God help you to do it. Your friend, Baden-Powell." I am sure that Adam will have taught many young people tracking signs as part of their programme over the years, and they will therefore be familiar with the sign, which is made up of a circle of stones or twigs with a stone or twig in the middle of the circle. This is the sign for gone home. Adam has now gone home, and we thank God for a life well lived and for a life dedicated to the service of others. I think that we can all agree that Adam did stick to his Scout promise and most certainly did his best. Adam leaves a big gap for his family, but also for us as a Scout district and for everyone who knew him. I want to extend my sympathies to his parents, brother and family. As we reflect on the gap he leaves, we can also give thanks for all that he did to make other people's lives better. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you who have shared your thoughts and memories today. And of course, there'll be other memories that you have that have not been mentioned. So we're going to have a moment of quiet, and in that time, I invite you to remember Adam as you have known him. Let's be quiet together. And as you've brought those memories to mind, over the course of today and in the days to come, share them with one another. And as you do so, remember the part that he has played in your life. For as well as our thanksgiving, we acknowledge the sadness of Adam's death and the changes that must mean. And we give thanks for the ways in which we can support each other through this time. But above all, however you have known him, be thankful for all that has been good in him. Time, unfortunately, is against us. So we're going to move to our closing hymn, and the hymn is Jerusalem. And as we come to the end of the service, I just draw your attention to the information which is on the back of the orders of service about how you can make a donation in memory of Adam for 2 new defibrillators, and also to say that you're welcome for light refreshments at the Embankment Bar and Kitchen. The family will join you after the service at the crematorium. You're welcome to join us there, but I would ask you to make your way promptly if you are going to come there with us. And so let us commend Adam to God. Into your keeping we commend your son Adam. Receive him into the arms of your mercy, into the joy of everlasting peace, and into the glorious company of the saints in light. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, keep our hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God and of his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. And the blessing of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, remain with us always. Amen.
your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy you can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy you can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love, sweet love. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Hey!
Yeah, we're rolling.